This is Jay with Door of Hope Learning Center, and today I've got Matisse Camelli here with me, and we've got a really interesting story to share about not just her daughter, but the fact that her husband is someone that my wife tutored. How long ago has it been?
Over 20 years ago.
Over 20 years, probably pushing 30 actually. And it's amazing to see this come full circle, and we're going to hear about that story this morning. So Matisse, Sophia is how old now? 7? Is that
Sophia
right?
is 7. Yeah.
And you guys homeschool, right?
We did. This is our first year homeschooling. We pulled them out of her private school because she was struggling with reading and just maintaining her interest in her studies. She was kind of the comedian of the class and had a hard time just sitting there doing simple tasks because she was frustrated with not being able to focus and figure out the blends and the sounds of the letters.
You know, so many people don't understand why these children can't process like you and I do. And I can't, because of that, they can't understand how frustrating it is to know you have a smart child on your hands, but this child can't focus and function in that schoolroom setting. Is that a frustration for you guys?
It was a frustration. I think it began a little bit in kindergarten where she just couldn't sit through what her teachers wanted her to sit through. And then we continued forward into first grade. She does really well with comprehending the context of it. It was just the little things, and it started to trickle into her spelling, and her spelling tests were always a struggle for her because she didn't want to fail. She wanted to do well. And so it was hard to see that she felt like she was a failure when she really wasn't. She was trying to do the best she could.
And that's what ends up happening. Kids, because they can't process that, they don't have, their mind doesn't work that way. They need a new set of tools, and that's what we give them here at Door of Hope. The tools to be able to go to work properly. We often give the analogy that the children can understand. So can you imagine, let's say your daddy is a carpenter and he goes to work and he doesn't have a hammer or a drill to work with, and so he's trying to figure out other ways to do it, and the work's just not getting done no matter how much he wants to do it. So imagine your daddy trying to go up and nail a piece of lumber together, and he's using a rock or a stick or something instead of a hammer. It makes him at a very, very distinct disadvantage, and that's maybe an analogy that a lot of adults would understand better as well, because if you never had this problem, you don't know. How's homeschooling going now?
A lot better. We hit a point where she was frustrated with the one-on-one work. It was hard for me to get her to sit and focus, so we tried creative ways to keep her engaged and really enjoy learning, and it's my desire for her to really love to learn and want to do well. And so when it got to that point of we just cannot continue forward with what we're doing because it trickled into all of her other subjects, math.
Absolutely. That's the thing about reading. It affects every single thing that child tries to do.
And she would avoid it, and a lot of times it would be tears, and it's heartbreaking as a mom to see your child struggling so much when we made this shift to help her improve. Avoidance
Behaviors are something that kids have to do to protect their own integrity. You know, it's I can't do this, and I'm feeling stupid, and I don't like that, and so what do I do? Well, you know, avoidance, and it comes in a lot of ways. A lot of kids will just try to become funny, or try to find some other distraction, or there's a 1,000 different avoidance techniques, and hers was just basically kind of meltdown, sounds like.
She shut down at a point because she would try to be the comedian in class. She would try to get a laugh, a rile out of kids. And then at home, it was, we need to sit and focus and work on this. And then she just couldn't handle it. The frustration became so overwhelming. And she exhibited a lot of things that my husband had troubles with as a child. And so we started pinpointing that. And because he came here and he was able to overcome a lot of that, we felt like this was a good place, a good fit for her.
Cool.